Hi, I'm King Jammer, and today we're going to look at 3 rustic starter house here on my Minecraft server. This is a concept or showcase style video, so today we're not going to be doing like a block by block build of anything. These houses were built on the same size platform and in the similar style. Now also, I took care not to use resources that are unattainable in the beginning of your Minecraft world in order to make these houses more starter friendly. So let's go ahead and take a look at the layout that we're going to use. Hello, Mr. Chicken. Fallen in love with it already. This is the layout that we're using. They're going to vary a little bit, but the basic size is 9 by 11. And each one of these houses are going to have these different angles in each one of the walls, as you'll see as we go through and take a look at each one of these little builds. So guys, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll start with the one directly behind me, build number 1. Alright, so in this one, in build number 1, we're using, like I said before, easily obtainable resources to build this one. And this is the block palette that I've used here. We've got spruce wood planks, oak wood planks, and of course a little bit of cobblestone, because why not? Every house should have it, am I right? So on this build, let's focus on the differences in each one of these builds. So in this one, we've got an oak wood wall mixed in with a little bit of spruce here and there. We've also used a little bit of cobblestone to outline some of the areas on this build. And of course, what starter home isn't complete with a fireplace? I use this fireplace. It's just a basic mixed material fireplace. As you can see, I've got some stone brick stairs here, a little bit of iron, and you know, the stairs and planks, everything that makes a fireplace great, am I right? Of course, in my world, fire spread is turned off, so I'm not really going to have to worry about that. Now, I also wanted to point out that I mixed the iron bar and the glass right here to give it sort of a angled look to go along with the rest of the style of this home. Also, I've got a little bit of foundation work here. Around this side, I used the oak leaves to blend some color in with this build. And once in a while, you'll notice that I also add some of these cobblestone walls, maybe some fence post walls along the angles to break those up some. Let's take a quick look inside, you guys. These builds are huge on the inside, and the angles really provide that large look on the inside. It really helps because it was able to allow me to add this inside fireplace without taking any extra room up on the inside. So the angles are really important when you're trying to add some depth and space to the interior of your home. Of course, this is a starter house, so I did not go through and kit this place out because I want you guys to see that it can totally work in your own starter world. Upstairs, I provided a loft area to accentuate the fact that there's a lot of space in these little houses. This is the little bed area, of course. But let's go ahead, guys, and take a look at what really tops this build off, per se, the roof area. The roof, exactly. And on this roof, you'll see that it is one of those sagging roof styles that are so popular right now. Also, guys, I've noticed that this angled build style is pretty popular in Minecraft right now from what I've been seeing. But this one also has the little oak leaves on top that accentuates that rustic style that we're going for, and then a nice angle in this fireplace to go along with all the other angles in this roof. And overall, I'd say that this one came out really super cute. I like it a lot. Let's head right over and get started checking out build number 2. And in build number 2, we've got similar resources over here, you guys. We've got stone. What is this? Dark oak. We've also got spruce wood, and of course terracotta. All pretty easy items to collect in the beginning of your world. Just wood, a little clay, and some stone. Of course, you'll probably need to smelt that, but that's the way things go in Minecraft anyway. But the difference here over on this build is that these corners are supported with the logs on all the corners, which create sometimes unique and interesting angles. Of course, we also added on this build this little fireplace, which angles up to the top. So I think these are really cute, you guys, when you mix and match blocks to create these little fireplaces. Let's go ahead and take an inside look at this fireplace. We just outlined this one with the iron bars. But before we get too carried away on the inside, I wanted to show you guys that this build has a stone wall, and it's also accentuated with polished andesite, regular andesite, some stone bricks. What else did we put on this one? Some of these corners, like we did before, are outlined with these cobblestone walls. And of course, we have the oak leaves in place there. But let's go ahead and look at our roof really quick, you guys. This roof is a little bit different than the other two roofs because it's on another angle. So besides the angles from down here, we've got our angles up top up here. We have a 2-block difference between the peak of this roof and the peak of this roof, which creates this sort of zigzag effect in the top of the build, which even adds to the rustic appeal to this particular build. I think you'll agree. And then down below, to cap this off, we've added our terracotta block. And with our little windows, sometimes I put in a 2-block window, sometimes a 1-block window, and just bring it out one time with a little slab there. Now, the cool thing about these, I'll show you on the other side, is that you can create a slightly different angle with your filler between the roof and the walls and drop it back a notch. So we've done that here, and it gives even more depth to this build, which I think is pretty interesting. But overall, guys, I'd say between the two of these builds, you guys let me know in the comments, I think this one is slightly more interesting than the first, but still, I really enjoy both of these styles. Let's head right over and take a look at build number 3. And here we are, guys. Somebody left the door open. Build number 3. I think this one is probably my most favorite build. It's 2-story build with a little bit different roof style. But before we get into that, guys, let's take a look at our blocks here that we have selected. We've got the terracotta. We also have the stone, and then we've got the oak slab or oak blocks, and then the bone blocks. I know, guys, this one is not quite as survival friendly. You're going to need some things to finish this build. If you choose this particular palette, you'll probably need like a spider spawner, little spider XP farm or something to give you the bone blocks that you need. But I think it's a really cool color combination overall. I hope you guys agree. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that. But let's go ahead and get started with this foundation. The foundation on this build is super cute, and I think it really adds a lot to the build because of the landscape around it. I've just done so with some cobblestone mixture. I've got the cobblestone wall, the stairs, the slabs, and then I put in some stone slabs and buttons along the way. Just to give it kind of that rustic style that we're going for in these builds. And then we come up the wall here with a standard stone wall, but we've mixed in on this one. This is another thing that you might not find right away in your world when you start your build, but it is the coral block. And then we've got the andesite, cobblestone, the polished andesite, mixing all those together. And I think that's probably my favorite way to blend a stone wall with those particular blocks. But that came out really well. We've also texturized these walls by framing in our windows, top and bottom. This window is framed in with, as you can see, some cobblestone wall and then a little bit of spruce. That looks really well, I think. And then up top, you've got some of these chiseled stone brick blocks to accent this particular window. It also breaks it up, the difference between that window and this window. So I went ahead and did that. And then sometimes you'll see, again, I cut out these corners and added the spruce fence and the cobblestone wall just to kind of give that a little bit of a breakup. Also, On this build as well as the other builds, I went ahead and cut out the windows on the angle, which is more interesting. And then I took out, I placed the spruce trapdoors above and below the window, just to kind of cap off the difference there. Otherwise, I think you'll agree, guys, that it just looks a little bit open there. So that feels right, if you know what I mean. Now, I left some of the walls blank so you guys can see how that looks without and then with the wall texture. I believe that it gives a lot to the build. But this doesn't look bad either. If you're going for a more modern thing with no texture on the wall at all, I think that could work. But also inside, between the roof and the walls, I used the bone block like I said before, and now I think you'll see that I used a different angle on the bone block than I did with the main wall. You guys let me know how you feel about that, but I feel like providing a slightly different angle inside there just kind of gives the build a little more character. Let's head around and look at the other side as well. I did the same thing there, just popped a little window in. Now before we take a look at the roof, let's hop inside and I'll show you guys once again how much space there are on these little builds. Now remember, they're all 9 by 11, even this one. I also went through the floor on this build and I put in this stripped spruce on the floor, just kind of differing each block to give it that unique look. This is not something that I came up with. Everybody's kind of doing that, but it looks interesting. Again, on this build, it's not quite as survival friendly because you do have some things you're going to have to do some mining for. Upstairs, I use some other blocks you won't get right away. But let's go ahead and head up there and we'll take a look. I did put in the little elevator, of course, and then like I said before, you'll have to head to the nether to use the glowstone there. But I also wanted to accent that there is room in these builds for a full enchantment table, you guys. So that's pretty nice. You still are left with tons of floor space after you add that, so you can't really beat that. But guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the roof. The roof on this one is very similar to the others. It is sloped in the middle as we've done before. It also has a little difference here. It's got this archway here on the side as well as on the other side, and I did add a log there sticking out on either side to provide some light out front, because I didn't put a chimney or a fireplace on this particular build, but that's pretty much the only difference. And there you have it, guys. As the sun sets, let me know in the description which build was your favorite. Let me also know what other kinds of building videos you guys might want to see. Maybe some block by block style videos, or maybe some more of these proof of concept style videos. Either way, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.